Welcome, uncharted Florida. We're on the east coast of Florida today. We're going to try to catch pompano in the last hour of the day. Stick around. Doubleheader. Insane. Look at this. In this video, I'll be sharing key tips on how to improve your catch. This is the gear we're going to be using. I'm going to set up the camera and give you a time lapse of how to set it up. You can get rods similar to this from West Marine for about $40, $50 on sale, the complete setup. You don't need anything super expensive to do this. We've got some PVC pipes. I'm going to be making a video on how to make those by yourself for a couple bucks. Frozen shrimp and fish bites. Here's the bait we're going to be using. We're going to chunk up this shrimp into about that size pieces, and we're going to tip each one of them with shrimp flavored fish bites. Here's the rig we're going to be using. We have a triple rig here. You can get these at most bait and tackle stores. We're going to start the bottom with a 4-ounce flat pyramid sinker. We got shrimp and fish bites, and just fish bites. We're using the 2-rod setup here. It's high tide right now, going down to low tide. So with the pompano we're doing, they're sitting outside the final break. And they're waiting for that bait and everything that was up at high tide to rush over the far out sandbar. And it's the opposite when low tide's going to high tide. Like I mentioned earlier, a lot of people think you have to use expensive rods and reels, especially for beach fishing. I specifically don't bring my expensive rods and reels because it's getting sandy. I might dunk them under the surf. While those baits are soaking, I'm going to see if I can tie on a jig. This is a real common pompano jig here. And I'm going to see if I can't work that jig through the surf on a shorter rod, see if I can get a bite. Fish on. Didn't take long at all. Broke us off. at this. Double header. Insane. Look at this. Pretty sure that's a black drum. Both of these aren't keeper size, I don't think, but double header, look at this. Black drum and whiting. If you know what this one is, comment in the video. I'm thinking black drum, but not quite sure. We're about 16 minutes into the fishing. 2 fish down. About 30 minutes of sunlight left. So we'll see what more we can do. Got birds eating my bait here. Another thing you want to do is have one rod out farther and one rod in a little bit. You'll dial in where the fish are. Another tip is if you haven't got a bite in a while, reel a couple spins on the reel. It'll get that bait out of the sand. It might have settled in, and sometimes that'll drive a strike. Smaller one. A real small one. Look at this, guys. Look at this. Pretty fish. It's like a jack. Be good bait, but we're gonna let him go. You really need to watch the rod tips. You saw on both the strikes I got, the rod went slack. It was a double header. The fish bit and swam in. So that's not going to naturally happen on its own. So when you see something like that, it's time to check it out. Another jack. A little bit bigger this time. Pretty fish. Alright, another tip is, this isn't like grouper fishing where the rod's going to double over and it's going to be totally obvious. If you see that rod tip bouncing, it doesn't look like how the waves are doing it, you probably have a fish on and you should check it. Alright guys, that's going to do it for tonight. We didn't catch the target species we were after, but we caught a ton of fish. We had a great time. Look at this beautiful beach. I love being out here. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you next time.